لا يحصي نعماءه العادون ولا يؤدي حقه المجتهدون والحمد لله الذي من علينا بمحمد صلى الله عليه وآله وبآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين لعنة دائمة على أعدائهم ومضلهم وغاصبي حقوقهم ليلنا هذا إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه تبارك وتعالى في الكتاب المجيد والقرآن الحميد: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من 1000 شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر. صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Perhaps the most important night in the Islamic tradition is the night of Qadr, on which we have tonight assembled. And it is for this night that we find that Ahlul Bayt Salamullah alayhim ajma'een have laid more emphasis and have asked us to observe this night as the night of Qadr, or at least as the night on which the a'mal of Qadr reach their pinnacle and climax. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this particular chapter says, which is a very common chapter, and we read this chapter in most of our salat also, and every young man and woman knows this by heart. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatil qadr. No doubt and very surely we have sent down Quran Majid on the night of Qadr. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. And O Prophet, the question is, what would you know about Laylatul Qadr? The idea of putting this question is that when we are trying to impress upon someone to say that you do not know how much valuable and priceless this night is, we sometimes ask a question and say, what would you know about it? That means it has got a particular importance and significance. Laylatul Qadr khayrun min 1000 shahr. The night of Qadr is far more weightier than 1000 months. On this particular night, tanazzalul malaikatu, the angels are coming down onto the earth, والروح, together with ruh. تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم, with the permission of their Lord and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, together with all the affairs of humankind, with safety and security up to the dawn. There are two things towards which I would like to draw the attention, because this is going to be a very brief majlis, because the program that is going to follow is mashallah quite lengthy, but that program which is going to follow also has got some meaning for which I must draw the attention. First, Quran Majid came down, inna anzalnahu, we sent it down. It did not come to this earth directly. This is what we do not know, most of us, that Quran Majid was first and foremost a treasure in the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It wasn't anywhere, and the knowledge of God is not in any way to be compared with our knowledge, which we acquire, and before we acquire knowledge, we are ignorant. In the case of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, There is no question of being ignorant before knowledge is acquired. He is always knowledge, will remain knowledge. He is knowledge itself. Therefore, Quran Majid was in his ilm and in his knowledge, and it descended in the month of Ramadan with his permission to that particular record which is called Lawh Mahfuz. Lawhun Mahfuz means that tablet which is protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in which the record of Allah's ultimate knowledge is maintained. And from Lawh Mahfuz, it came down up to the Prophet as and when time demanded. This is why Allah says in Quran, وَقُرْآنًا أَنزَلْنَاهُ عَلَى مُكْثٍ. And then this is the Quran which we sent down gradually as time and circumstances demanded. But it existed in his knowledge. It came down to the Lawh Mahfuz in that particular protected tablet in the night of Qadr, which is tonight, 23rd of Ramadan. And we say this in all dua, Ya Ali, Ya Azim, Ya Ghafur, Ya Rahim, and all that. And then we say, this is the night, this is the month in which you have ordained the night of Qadr. A second thing which is more important about this night is, therefore this night, as normally many people originally presumed that this was Wafat night. It is not a Wafat night. Quite contrary to that, this is not a night of mourning. Actually, it is a night of joy. It is the night of Khushhali, because we are going to celebrate the coming down of Quran from that absolute knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala unto an intermediate stage of Lawh Mahfuz to be finally transmitted to humanity, which is in our hands today. Secondly, the importance of this night is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his ultimate mercy has ordained everything for us in two ways. One is that which is going to happen in my life, for example. Ultimately, he knows about it. There is no two ways about it. But in between, there is a stage of destiny which is called Qada and Qadar, where Allah has ordained, and that is going to happen provided that with my free will that he has given me, I do not change it. If I wish to change it, I can. That is his mercy. He has given me free will, and there are certain things which I can change. There are certain bala which I can avert. There are certain things in my life which I can avoid, because Allah has given us all free will. We act with our free intentions. And if we fail in our intentions, or if we use our intentions and our niyyat adversely, then it affects that interim destiny adversely. Let me give example. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, and the Prophet has laid emphasis on this so much, although we do not speak of it. The relations between us, especially close relation, blood relation, which is called Ulul Arham, where we share descendants. He is my brother, she is my sister, my mother, and my aunt, all those, my niece, nephew, cousins, all those who are connected by womb and blood. Because there are two types of relations. A relationship which is by blood, and relationship which is created by marriage. Sometimes we marry into another family. That is called relationship on sabab. Something has happened, I have married into another family and created a new relationship. But there are certain relationships which are in my family, which is called relationship by nasab, by descendants, by lineage. We belong to the same womb ultimately. These are called ulul arham. Raham is the womb. And if anyone breaks the relation between ulul arham. That means if a brother stops talking to his own real brother, na'udhu billah, or they become enemies, or there is a poor man or a poor lady in the ulul arham, that means in this relationship, and I am a moneyed man, I go on giving charities outside while someone within ulul arham is dying of hunger or is in need of assistance. All that which I give away in charity goes in vain. Allah doesn't accept it, as long as I don't give to those who should enjoy the preference. Now, when a man breaks relations, the Prophet said, with this sin, whatever be the reason, there can be thousands of reasons. Sometimes people say, how can I talk to my brother when he has wronged me? Say we were doing business together and he has taken away my share. Or there was a question of inheritance and he hasn't given me my share. Whatever be the case, however serious it is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, never sever relations with your ulul arham. If you break, then the other party is told that whoever breaks, you go and mend it. That means don't feel ashamed to go and say that, all right, my brother or my sister, I'm here, what can I do for you? He may turn away his face, whatever, but you don't sever the relations. You keep the relations. If you sever and cut it off, then of course it adversely affects your life, your rizq. Then people come and say, I have been praying and praying and praying, Allah is not answering. Allah does not answer. As He has said it clearly, I will not answer whoever is qati'ul arham, that means who cuts off the relations with ulul arham. And if a person does exactly opposite, and goes and mends and joins that which has been cut off by the other side, Allah increases His barakah and may also increase in the span of life. If he were to die 10 or 15 or 20 years younger, he may live longer with the barakah of having mended that which Allah wants you to mend. So you see how this interim destiny changes. There is a question of free will here playing. Hajj. I can go to Hajj. I have all the capabilities of going to Hajj. I am not going. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not stopping. And if I go, it is not He who is catching me by the hand to send. I am going with my free will. But if a person does not go to Hajj, despite being capable, and if then he complains that, Ya Allah, your mercy is not towards me, that complaint is totally out of place, because he is himself doing that which he ought not to have done. So many things control my destiny, including my relationship with my parents. When the children cut off relationship with the mother, they don't talk to the mother. Sometimes unthinkable, but if you ask him, says, I'm not talking to my mother. Why? Oh, she is a very difficult lady. He forgets how difficult he was when he was an infant. How difficult I was when I was an infant, I forget. How she managed to look after me in all those adverse days and circumstances, I forget. Now she became old and she became difficult because of her nature, because of our age, whatever you may say. I'm not talking to her. This affects the barakah in my rizq and also affects in my life. And these are the things which are controlling factors on my life. And that is why we just now read the dua. Allahumma inni as'aluka an taj'ala fima taqdi wa tuqaddir. في الأمر المحتوم من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل أن تكتبني من حجاج بيتك الحرام المبرور حجهم المشكور سعيهم المغفور ذنوبهم المكفر عنهم سيئاتهم وأسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل عمري في خير وعافية وتوسع في رزقي وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك ولا تستبدل بي غيري. The whole dua tonight is on this Qada and Qadr. Oh Allah, I am asking you to convert my interim destiny into a permanent one, that I may be one who will go to Hajj this year, a Hajj which is acceptable Hajj, in which my efforts will be rewarded, in which my sins will be forgiven, not going there to raise an agency or to get an agency or to do some business, going for you and no one else. And then again change by this interim destiny into a permanent one in your knowledge, that I may have a longer life, but life with health and secure life from all evils. Because what is the use of having an old age when you are not even healthy? Fi khairin wa afiya. I'm asking you an age in long life with khair, with goodness in it, and with security from all illnesses and sicknesses, so that I may enjoy my life with health and may be profusely thankful to you, and provide me wider rizq, providence and sustenance, so that I may not have to bow down before others to demand and beg, and make me among those who will cause your religion to be victorious, who will serve religion, and please don't change me otherwise. We have just now read this. وَلَا تَسْتَبْدِلْ بِي غَيْرِي. And do not change me for any other thing, that I may always be in service to your religion. So tonight we are asking this, and it is for this reason that this is called Laylatul Qadr. We are all a business people, commercial people, professional people, students who have got aspirations, and people of all walks of life. Everyone is thinking in terms of having a secure future. And tonight is the night when we will ask, Ya Allah, tonight, fiha yufraqu kullu amrin hakim. We will just now read Surah Ad-Dukhan. The purpose of reading Surah Ad-Dukhan and Ankabut and Surah Rum is also quite relevant to tonight. Fiha yufraqu kullu amrin hakim. In this night is decided everything that is of wisdom and importance and significance. So there is 1 year till next 23rd. May Allah, inshallah, keep us alive to join again. And may Allah lengthen our lives, lives of our elders, men and women, and grant shifa to those who are ill and sick. But when we have got 1 year to go, in this 1 year, we are seeking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that interim destiny, whatever is converted into a destiny in His knowledge, so that it may be for the good and for the better. That is the meaning of this. And it is towards this that we will sit tonight. When we are asked to beg from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hajat or whatever, don't forget this, that this is the year going through. From 23rd to next 23rd, ask for khair, ask for safe and secure, good life, and ask that we may not commit such sins which may adversely affect our lives. It affects whether we like it or we don't. It affects the lives of even non-Muslims. But we are not connected with them, therefore we do not know their inside stories. But if you ever happen to be with them for any close and intimate relationship, you will see how these sins affect their relations and their lives also. There is no barakah whatsoever. However glorious and glittering it may seem to be, inside it is nothing but misery. We don't want that miserable life. And it is for this reason that we are recommended tonight that you will read Dua Jawshan Kabir. Jawshan means an armor. And the armor is used in the battle. And the battle you wear an armor to defend your body from wounds and from the weapons which are used in the battle. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was told by Jibreel Amin, Ya Muhammad, this is to be read every time that a man is in a problem. Particularly so in the nights of Qadr. Particularly so on the 23rd night of Ramadan. That is tonight. What is there in Joshan Kabir? Every fasl that you will read, there are 100 fasls, has got nearly 10 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Each name is Ism A'zam. We do not know what we are reading, but each name is a quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Each quality. And after every fasl we say, Subhanaka ya la ilaha illa ant, al-ghawth, al-ghawth, khallisni min al-nar ya Rab. Glory be to you, O Allah. I am seeking refuge from you and from none else. Save me from the hellfire. Saving from the hellfire does not mean only going to Jahannam, that must be on the day of judgment. Our acts here will decide where we are going to, whether we are going to Jahannam or going to Jannah. And that Jahannam may also be on earth as well as there. We are asking him to save us. And at the end of Joshan Kabir, just raise your hands. And with these names that we have recited, each name has got a significant meaning. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attribute, I don't think there is any dua of that much significance, having all the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just the way we have in Joshan Kabir. It hardly takes half an hour to 35 minutes to complete if one reads alone. And if all together read, then it is just like namaz-e-jama'ah. Because one man may be reading with all his mind in it, because of him, our also will be accepted. That is it. But there is another Joshan, which is called Joshan Saghir. It is a smaller Joshan, a smaller arm. Even that the Prophet was told to read. And what is it? It is a unique dua, in a sense that every paragraph in it describes, says, Ya Allah, at this very moment, as we are talking, and at every moment in life, someone somewhere is suffering. Is it not so? At this very second, as we are talking, somewhere someone is breathing his last. This is the whole world. We are not talking of England alone or London alone or for Stanmore alone. We are talking of the whole world. The creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going through all the changes right at this very moment. At this very moment, as I'm talking and you are listening, somebody is dying. Somebody is born at this very moment. Somebody right is beset and surrounded by the enemies, is being tortured. Right now, he is being tortured, tormented. Right now, a woman is being dishonored. Right now, somebody is dying of hunger. Right now, somebody is in great pain because of the disease that has caught him up. All that is happening right now. And we are seeing that the description in this dua is given one after the other. At the end of it we say, Ya Allah, because of your mercy, I am at least at this moment not in that predicament. And therefore, I thank you. And I say, Ya Allah, make me among those who will always remember your blessings. فَاجْعَلْنِي لِنَعْمَائِكَ مِنَ الشَّاكِرِينَ وَلِآلَائِكَ مِنَ الذَّاكِرِينَ. Ya Allah, make me among those who will thank you for the bounties and remember your blessings, always. That is Joshan Saghir. These are the du'as to be read tonight. Not out of any, because Mawla Ali alayhi salam clearly said, salawatullah salam alayhi, when you do a sunnat a'mal, do with love. Don't do it as if this is a new bala which has come on my head. Do it with all your love. And if you cannot, you may not do it, because there is no force, it is sunnah. But if you do it with understanding and with all your readiness, then of course we gain out of it and there is a benefit out of it. On the night of 23rd, one of the companions of Imam Jafar as-Sadiq salawatullah salam alayhi, overslept. Early in the morning, when he came to the presence of Imam alayhi salam, there were so many people sitting there. Imam alayhi salam started telling them about the previous night. What was it? Laylatul Qadr, and its excellence, and its spiritual extravagance, and all that. Imam alayhi salam started relating, and this man, as he listened, he wept. He cried, because Imam alayhi salam said, the night was a night for keeping awake, the night of vigil, the night of communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the night of communion. And he started weeping. Imam said, what makes you weep? He said, I slept last night. I slept. Imam alayhi salam said, yes. But did you wake up? Once. He said, I woke up only once because I felt thirsty. I woke up once. I felt thirsty. And therefore I took a glass of water and drank to quench my thirst. And then I said, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. La'ana Allah ummatan qatalatka. Qutilta atshanan. Salam upon you, O Hussein ibn Ali. May Allah curse those who killed you and who caused your martyrdom. You really were killed thirsty. Just that much. Imam alayhi salam said, for having remembered that much, Imam Hussein, you have got the thawab of Shab Qadr. That is the reason why we will read Ziyarat-e-Warith tonight. Though we know what is happening in Karbala tonight. We are told that the Haram of Karbala has been opened. We are told that people have been allowed to go last night and previous night to Kufa and Najaf to perform ziyarat. But under what circumstances, in what surroundings they went, nobody knows. How many were then captured again, how many were arrested, nobody knows. But we are only told this much. We wish we were in Karbala on this night, sometimes inshallah in the future. But we are not there. Tonight, when we will stand up and we will just visualize that we are addressing Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and before us, those who have been, will be able to visualize that haram of Sayyid al-Shuhada and say, Assalamu alayka ya waritha Adama Safwatillah. It has got unique significance tonight. Tonight is the night of cleaning one's slate. Because if you want to go closer to Him, the only way is to say, Ya Allah, forgive me. We must not be ashamed of saying, Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa Ya Allah, forgive. For none of us is sinless. And there are so many sins. Dua Tawbah will be read just now. The dua which was by Imam Zainul Abidin, Salawatullah wa in which Imam says, Ya Allah, it is your mercy that you have kept the gate of Tawbah open. If you had not kept the gate of Tawbah open, there would have been no point of return. We would have committed sins and become totally disappointed, hopeless and desolate. But no, He kept the gate of Tawbah open. Every time He says, come in. But Imam alayhi salam says, Ya Allah, this time, make my entry into the gate of Tawbah such that I may not require to come again. That means that I may follow the dictates of Sharia. Tawbatan la ahtaju ila tawbatin ba'daha. Such a tawbah that I may not need a tawbah after that. This is what it is that is going to be read tonight. We must always believe this, that the night is for really remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asking for forgiveness. The paramount importance is so that our lives change for the better. Together with it will be read Dua Makarimul Akhlaq, which will take 20 minutes again. Again people will start looking at their watches. But how beautiful it would be if everyone had a book in his hand to just read what Dua Makarimul Akhlaq is. It is a dua when I'm asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to change my behavior and my mannerism to that which is better. On this night. It's a night of a sort of a metamorphosis and evolution from what I was into what I become and what I will be. Therefore it is a very important night. And on this night is 102 rakats of namaz, which is sunnah. But of course the ulama have guided us, and rightly so, that if I have qada on me, then I may convert into 6 days qada namaz. And when we will convert this into qada namaz, it will be 17 rakat per day into 6. It will be 102 rakat. The sunnah is 102. If somebody has no qada, he will read 100 rakat. If he has qada, he will try to convert this into 17 days, 6 days namaz, 17 rakat every day, beginning with namaz al-subh, then dhuhr, asr, maghrib, isha, then again subh, dhuhr, asr, maghrib, isha, and giving it as qada. We do not know, we may have left out, we may not have rendered it properly, we may have forgotten. These are the nights on which this can be done. And best of all is, again I will repeat, if there is ulul arham with whom we have cut off, this is the night to rejoin. If there is any ulul arham with whom we have severed our relation, then this is the night to join back, forgive and forget. This is the night upon which every rahmah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends, provided we make ourselves ready for it. And please don't forget your servant in these particular prayers tonight. Well, we will inshallah not forget you all. Our prayers have been always for others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala likes a man and a woman who prays for others. Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha, whenever she used to rise for tahajjud every night, Ramadan or otherwise, she would wake up Imam Hassan, for example, and Imam Hussein, children, and say, "Be with me." Imam Hassan says that when we were very young, mother would rise at night and for salat, and we used to hear that she would pray for the neighborhood, for others. She would take the names of others, and she never said for herself anything. So one day I asked, I said, "Mother, you have never prayed for yourself all the time, for others?" And the answer she gave was, "Bunayya, al-jar thumma ad-dar." First the neighborhood, then the household. That is one thing. Second thing is, Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, when he went to the Mount of Sinai, he was told by Allah, "Musa, tell your people to pray with the sinless tongue, a tongue which has committed no sin." So Hazrat Musa alayhi salam said, "Ya Allah, there are no masumin here. If I tell them sinless tongue, that means nobody will pray, they will stop." He said, "That is not the meaning. The meaning is that the other one prays for you. The other man's tongue is sinless in regard to you. He has not committed your sin. You have committed your sin. Therefore let the other fellow tell each to pray for the other." When we start having that sort of mind of praying for the others and say, "Ya Allah, forgive them. Ya Allah, grant them all the security. Grant them all the abundance. Grant them all the barakah. Secure them from the pitfalls and from the errors, and make our lives the way you like us to lead, all of us," then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us. And that is the philosophy which we will have to follow tonight. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to make the most of these few hours that we have before namaz al-subh. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.